The city was dead. Tall towers stood like broken teeth against the gray sky. Roads were cracked and filled with silence. No sound of traffic, no voices, no birds in the air. Only the wind moved through the empty streets, carrying the smell of smoke and dust. From the shadows of the ruined skyline, a silver ship landed. Its hull was scarred with old battles. The doors opened with a heavy hiss, and armored figures stepped out. Alien soldiers, tall and lean, with armor plates that gleamed in the dull light. Their eyes glowed faintly through their helmets. This was not their first landing. They had been hunting survivors on Earth for weeks. Humans were supposed to be weak now, broken, scattered, starving. Easy prey. That was what their commanders told them. That was why they walked with confidence, weapons ready but movements calm. Yet, something felt different here. The air was heavy, thicker than before. The streets seemed to whisper. The alien squad leader raised a clawed hand, signaling the unit to stop. His helmet scanned the area. A single life form. Not moving. Not running. Inside one of the half-fallen buildings. Strange. Usually, humans hid in groups, clinging together in fear. But this signal was alone. One human. Sitting still. The soldiers exchanged glances. Their training told them it was dangerous. A cornered creature often fought harder. But curiosity pressed them forward. Slowly, they moved into the building, weapons aimed and sensors on full alert. The inside was dark. Cracked walls. Dust falling from the ceiling with every step. The faint light from their scanners cut across broken furniture and burned-out machines. And there, in the center of the room, they saw him. A man. He was sitting at a broken table. His posture was calm, almost relaxed, as if he had been waiting for them. His hands moved with slow precision, arranging small objects on the table. Metal pans. A few eggs. Strips of meat. A tiny fire crackled beneath the pan, glowing red in the shadows. The aliens froze. They expected fear. They expected trembling hands, desperate cries, or an attempt to flee. But this man showed none of it. His breathing was steady. His eyes did not rise to meet theirs. He ignored them completely, as if their weapons did not exist. The squad leader raised his weapon higher. His voice echoed through the translator. Human. You are surrounded. Do not resist. The man gave no answer. He only cracked an egg, letting it fall into the pan with a sharp sound. The liquid hissed as it touched the fire. HSSS. The smell rose into the air, thick, smoky, and strong. The aliens stiffened. Their sensors registered a chemical reaction. Energy release. Protein breakdown. They did not understand. They whispered among themselves. What is he doing? Some kind of ritual. Maybe weapon making. Their claws tightened on their rifles. The man reached for a strip of meat, placing it on the pan. The sizzling grew louder. The fire danced higher. The air filled with the smell of cooked flesh. The soldiers felt uneasy. Their species did not eat in this way. To them, food was processed, cold, rationed. This act, the heating of flesh on fire, looked more like a sacrifice than a meal. One alien muttered, voice low with dread. He is summoning something. The squad leader said nothing. His instincts screamed at him. This was not normal. This was not weakness. This was something else. The man finally lifted his head. His eyes locked on the soldiers. For the first time he spoke. His voice was calm, almost casual. Breakfast. The single word carried no threat. Yet the aliens felt a chill in their blood. Their language processors translated the sound, but the meaning was unclear. A simple act. Or a code word. The soldiers hesitated. Their training told them to advance. Their instincts told them to stay still. The man returned to his task. He flipped the meat, stirred the eggs, and ate. Bite by bite. Slowly. With every chew, The soldiers' fear grew. This was no act of hunger. This was something deeper. A ritual. A preparation. The squad leader clenched his claws around his rifle. His heart pounded. He had seen many battles, faced many enemies. But never had silence felt so heavy, never had a single human's calmness felt so dangerous. The fire popped. The pan hissed. The man ate. The alien soldiers, for the first time in their campaign, did not feel like hunters. They felt like prey. The squad leader spoke again, his voice sharper now. What is the meaning of this ritual? The man smiled faintly, but he gave no answer. Only another word. Almost ready. The soldiers stiffened. Their scanners screamed warnings. Energy levels were rising. Not from the fire. From him. The air thickened. The silence grew heavier. And in that moment, the alien soldiers, trained, armored, armed, realized something terrible. This was not a human waiting for death. This was a human preparing for war. And they had walked straight into his ritual. The smell grew stronger. The fire cracked and hissed as the man stirred the pan with calm movements. The sound of sizzling meat echoed strangely inside the ruined building, mixing with the low hum of alien scanners. The alien soldiers stood in a half-circle around him, their weapons aimed, their claws tense on the triggers. Their glowing eyes followed every move of the human, but he did not seem to care. He did not flinch. He did not rush. He acted as if they were nothing more than shadows on the wall. This made them nervous. Humans were supposed to fear them. That was the first lesson they had been taught before coming to Earth. A frightened enemy makes mistakes. But this man was not afraid. He was calm, too calm. The squad leader gave a silent signal to his unit. Hold position. Watch carefully. Do not act until commanded. The man picked up a small container. He shook white crystals into the pan. The eggs hissed and bubbled. The smell changed again, sharper, richer, filling the soldiers' helmets with strange chemical readings. Their sensors blinked red. One soldier whispered, "What is this substance?" Another answered, "It burns, but not like fuel. It changes the flesh. It makes it stronger." The squad leader's mandibles clicked uneasily. To him, this looked like some strange war preparation. Something they did not understand. The man cracked another egg. He stirred again, moving slowly, deliberately, as though each action carried meaning. He sprinkled another powder, dark, ground into fine dust. The pan hissed once more. Ritual confirmed, one soldier muttered. High energy. Possibly spiritual. Possibly combat-related. Their weapons shook slightly in their claws. None dared to step closer. The human lifted a strip of cooked meat with his fingers. He took a slow bite. His teeth cut through it with ease. The sound of chewing filled the silence. The alien soldiers froze. Their species never consumed food like this. To them, eating was private, quiet, almost mechanical. But this human, he ate openly, in front of armed enemies, as if they did not exist. One soldier whispered, "He consumes the flesh, for strength." Another's voice cracked, "It is sacrifice. He is feeding on the fallen." The squad leader said nothing. But deep inside, he felt the same chill. The human's eyes lifted again. He chewed slowly, staring at them without fear. His gaze was sharp, piercing, as if he could see through their armor, through their training, straight into their fear. Finally, he spoke. His voice was low, calm, and strangely heavy. "Almost done." The aliens stiffened. Almost done. What did that mean? Almost done with the meal? Or almost done with them? Their claws tightened around their rifles. Their targeting systems locked onto the human. One order, and he would be dead. And yet, none of them gave that order. None of them fired. Because deep inside, every soldier felt the same truth. Killing him now might not save them. The man flipped the last piece of meat in the pan. He let it cook in silence. The fire burned brighter for a moment, shadows dancing across the cracked walls. The smell filled the room completely now, heavy and thick. One alien coughed, disturbed by the strange smoke. Another shifted his feet nervously. The squad leader's voice came sharp through the silence. "Human. Explain. What is this?" The man smiled faintly. It was not a friendly smile. It was the smile of someone who knew something they did not. "Breakfast," he said again. The soldiers felt the words strike them like a weapon. Their translators processed it, but the meaning still seemed alien. They did not understand. But they feared it. The human lifted the final piece of food to his mouth. He ate it slowly, bite after bite. His jaw worked with steady rhythm, each sound echoing in their ears. When he swallowed the last piece, he closed his eyes for a moment, as if completing some ancient promise. Then he stood. The soldiers' weapons rose higher. Every barrel pointed at his chest. But still he moved with no fear. He wiped his hands on his torn clothing, his motions casual, deliberate. The squad leader gave a warning growl through his speaker. "Do not move." But the man ignored him. He looked at each soldier in turn. His voice came low, almost whisper, but every alien heard it clearly. "Now," he said. "It begins." The scanners screamed alarms. His body temperature spiked. His heart rate jumped, not with fear, but with power. Energy surged from his muscles, from his veins. The alien soldiers stepped back without thinking. Their claws shook. Their helmets flickered with red warnings. Unknown power source detected. The squad leader's mandibles clicked rapidly, a sign of deep fear. He whispered to himself, This is not a meal. This is fuel." The man clenched his fists. His eyes burned with strange fire. The air itself seemed heavier, filled with tension and pressure. The ritual was complete. And for the first time since they landed on Earth, the alien soldiers realized they had made a terrible mistake. They had not witnessed a weak human at all. They had witnessed the awakening of something far worse. The human stood tall. The fire behind him burned low, but its glow danced across his face. His eyes were sharp, steady, alive with something the alien soldiers could not name. For a long moment, no one moved. The alien squad stood frozen, their weapons pointed but their claws shaking slightly on the triggers. They had fought many battles. They had seen humans scream, beg, or run. But they had never seen this calm, this silence, this confidence. The human had finished his ritual. He had eaten in their presence, ignoring their weapons. And now he stood, looking at them as if they were the ones trapped, not him. One soldier could not hold back his fear. His voice cracked through the translator. "Commander, we should fire." The squad leader's mandibles clicked nervously. He wanted to agree. But something in his instincts held him back. Something whispered, "If we fire now, it will not end well." The human tilted his head slightly, as though amused by their hesitation. Then, slowly he spoke. "You watched me eat." The words were simple, but they struck like a blow. The soldiers stiffened. The translator rendered the sound into their language, but the meaning carried a strange weight. "You do not understand," the man continued. His voice was calm, almost gentle, but it filled the room like thunder. "This is not food. This is power. This is what makes us strong." The soldiers exchanged quick, fearful glances. Their sensors continued to beep warnings. Energy readings rose around the man's body, pulsing like waves. One soldier whispered, "He consumes to increase strength." Another hissed, "This is their war preparation. Their ritual." The human's eyes locked onto the soldier who spoke. His stare was cold, unblinking. The soldier felt his legs weaken beneath him. His claws twitched, almost dropping his weapon. Then, without warning, the man took a single step forward. The aliens instantly stepped back, weapons tightening in their grip. Their targeting systems locked on, crosshairs centered on his chest. A single order, and the room would explode with plasma fire. But the order never came. Because when the man stepped forward, the air itself seemed to shift. It grew heavy, pressing down on them like a storm about to break. Their armor sensors screamed about pressure changes, though nothing in the building had moved. The man smiled faintly, and that smile was more terrifying than any weapon. "You think we are weak," he said softly. "But you do not understand what you are looking at. You do not understand what we are." The squad leader's throat clicked. He tried to keep his voice steady. "Explain yourself, human." The man's smile faded. His eyes burned brighter. "No explanation," he said. "Only truth." He clenched his fists. Muscles tightened beneath his skin. His veins pulsed with sudden energy. The scanners shrieked louder. One soldier shouted, He's charging some kind of weapon inside his body." Panic spread like fire. The human's breath deepened. His chest rose and fell with slow rhythm, as though he was drawing strength from the very air. The squad leader snapped his mandibles shut and barked an order. "Stand your ground." "He cannot." But he never finished. The man moved. Not fast, not yet. Just a slow, deliberate step. But it was enough. The nearest soldier stumbled backward, fear surging through him. His weapon clattered against the wall, almost slipping from his claws. His breathing quickened, high and uneven. The human's voice came again, low and deadly calm. "You fear me. And you should." The words echoed in their helmets, louder than any gunfire. The squad leader hissed sharply, his own fear breaking through. He had fought beasts with claws, machines with blades, armies with bombs. But nothing felt like this. Nothing made his blood run cold like the simple presence of this human. The human took another step. The room felt smaller now, the walls pressing closer. The alien's breathing grew shallow. Their hearts hammered inside their armored chests. One soldier snapped under the pressure. He screamed and fired. A burst of blue plasma shot across the room, striking the wall near the man. The building shook with the blast. Smoke filled the air. When it cleared, the human was still standing. He had not moved. The plasma had missed him by inches, but he did not flinch, did not duck, did not even blink. He simply stood, calm as ever, looking at the soldier who fired. The soldier froze in terror. His claws shook uncontrollably. The man's voice came once more, quieter than before, but sharp as a blade. "Not yet." The squad leader roared in anger, spinning toward the soldier who fired. "Fool! Do not attack." But it was too late. The damage was done. The fear was spreading. The man straightened fully now, his presence towering. The fire behind him dimmed, but it no longer mattered. He was the fire. He raised his hands slowly, not in surrender, but in promise. "When the ritual ends," he said, his voice like thunder rolling through their bones, "the battle begins." The alien squad felt it deep inside. Their training, their weapons, their numbers, none of it mattered. This was not prey. This was predator. And they were standing inside the cage with him. The building shook with silence. Dust drifted from the ceiling. The broken walls seemed to lean in closer, as though the entire ruin wanted to watch what was about to happen. The human stood in the middle, calm as stone. His ritual was finished. His body was alive with power. Every breath he took made the alien soldiers feel smaller, weaker, less certain of their weapons. The squad leader tried to control his unit. He raised his clawed hand, signaling them to stay ready, to hold their line. But he could feel their fear like heat in the air. One soldier whispered, He cannot be just a man." Another hissed back, "He is something else. Something made for war." The human's gaze swept over them, cold and sharp. He could see their fear. He could taste it. Slowly, he began to walk forward. Each step echoed, heavy and deliberate, filling the silence like thunder. The soldiers stepped back in perfect rhythm, like prey retreating from a predator. Their weapons stayed pointed, but none dared to fire again. The squad leader barked. "Hold! He bleeds like any creature. Do not fear him." But even his own voice trembled. The human stopped. His eyes locked on the leader. His face carried no smile now, no warmth. Only iron. "Do you want to test that?" he asked softly. The squad leader froze. He had no answer. The human tilted his head, then clenched his fists. His body tensed, every muscle alive with power. The scanners on the alien's armor screamed red alerts. Energy spike. Danger level critical. That was when one soldier broke. He screamed, raising his weapon high, and fired a full blast. Blue plasma tore across the room, exploding against the floor at the man's feet. The concrete shattered. The walls shook. Smoke filled the air. For a heartbeat, the soldiers thought it was over. But then, through the smoke, a figure moved. The human stepped forward, untouched. His clothes were scorched, his skin marked with ash, but his eyes still burned with the same fire. The soldier who fired stumbled backward, terror rising in his throat. The man spoke, his voice low, steady, and colder than death. "Now," he said. "Now we begin." The words crushed the last of their courage. Another soldier dropped his weapon. It clattered to the floor with a sharp echo. His hands shook too much to pick it up. The squad leader roared. "Stand your ground." He cannot. But even he could not finish the command. The human moved. This time it was not slow. He crossed the room in a blur, faster than their scanners could track. His fist slammed into the wall beside the nearest soldier. The concrete exploded, cracks spreading like spider webs. The soldier froze, too afraid to move. He stared at the shattered wall, realizing that if the fist had landed on him, he would already be dead. The human leaned close, his voice sharp and clear. "Your weapons mean nothing." The soldier dropped to his knees, shaking. His rifle slipped from his claws and hit the ground. The rest of the squad panicked. Their formation broke. Some stepped back, others raised their rifles in trembling claws. None fired. None dared. The squad leader's mandibles clattered with rage. He tried to raise his own weapon, but even he could not keep his hands steady. He stared into the human's eyes and saw no weakness, no fear, only a quiet promise of violence. The man straightened, looking at the entire squad at once. His voice rolled through the ruined building, calm but heavy like stone. "You think I am one man, but I am more. I am every battle, every fight, every survivor. I am what you made us become." The soldiers shook. Their armor sensors screamed louder, detecting impossible energy inside his body. Their minds raced. What was he? How could flesh hold such power? One soldier whispered, "He is evolution. The war has changed them." The human stepped back into the center of the room. His fists clenched again. His voice dropped to a whisper, but every alien heard it clear as a blade. "You should have stayed away." Then he moved once more. Not toward them, not yet. But the sheer force of his step cracked the floor beneath his boots. Dust burst into the air. The walls groaned. The squad could take no more. 2 soldiers fled, stumbling back through the broken doorway into the street. Their fear was stronger than their orders. Their commander roared after them, but his words had no weight anymore. The chain of command had shattered. The human did not chase them. He only watched, calm and cold, as if he had expected this. Then his gaze returned to the leader. The squad leader's heart hammered in his chest. His claws twitched around his weapon. He wanted to order another attack. He wanted to believe this was still a battle he could win. But deep inside, he knew the truth. They had walked into a trap, not one made of wires or bombs, but of a single man's will. And now that the ritual was over, nothing could save them. The human's final words broke the silence like a verdict. "Breakfast is finished. Now comes the war." The building was no longer silent. The sound of weapons shook the air. Blue plasma lit the dark ruins, scorching the walls, blasting holes into stone and steel. The alien squad fired with everything they had, their rifles screaming, their claws tight on the triggers. The human did not run. He moved. Fast. Too fast. A blur among the smoke and flashes of fire. Every step he took was heavy, powerful, shaking the ground. Plasma burned past him, but he was always just outside the line of fire, always too quick, too sharp. One soldier screamed as the man appeared beside him. A single strike of the human's fist sent the alien crashing into a wall, armor dented, body limp. Another fell with a sharp kick that broke his weapon in half before it even fired. The rest of the squad panicked. Their formation shattered. The squad leader shouted commands, but no one listened. Fear drowned his words. His soldiers no longer saw prey, they saw a monster. And the monster was hunting them. The human's voice cut through the chaos, deep and steady. You think I am weak. But weakness is gone. We burned it out in fire and blood. Another alien tried to fire at point-blank range. The man grabbed the weapon, twisted it, and the rifle exploded in its owner's claws. The soldier fell, screaming. The others began to retreat, stumbling backward, their confidence collapsing with every step. The squad leader roared again, desperate. Stand and fight. He is only one. But the truth was already clear. He was not only one. He was something far greater. The man moved again, leaping into the center of the squad. His fists struck like thunder. His eyes burned with fury and fire. The battle was not long. It was slaughter. And then, silence. Smoke drifted through the broken building. Cracked walls leaned on shattered beams. The fire in the pan had long since died, leaving only black ash. Around the man, alien bodies lay scattered. Some groaned weakly, others did not move at all. Their weapons were broken, their formation destroyed, their fear carved deep into the air like a wound. The squad leader was the last to remain standing. His armor was cracked, his rifle almost empty. His mandibles clicked nervously as he faced the human. The man stepped closer, slow and steady, every footstep echoing like a drumbeat. His face was calm once more, his breathing steady. The ritual was complete. The battle was over. But his eyes still burned. The squad leader's voice cracked as he spoke. What are you? The man's reply was soft, but it cut deeper than any blade. Human. The alien leader shook his head violently. His claws trembled. No, you are not. Humans were weak, broken, afraid. You are something else. The man tilted his head slightly. His answer was calm, simple. We are what you made us. You came to hunt. You came to conquer. And we learned. We learned to eat strength. To breathe fire. To survive until survival itself became our weapon. The squad leader's mandibles opened and closed, but no sound came out. His hands shook so badly that his rifle slipped from his grip and clattered to the floor. The man stepped even closer now, until they were face to face. His eyes locked on the alien's glowing lenses. Go, he said. Tell them. Tell every soldier waiting above the clouds. Tell your commanders who think humans are prey. Tell them what you saw today. The alien froze. He wanted to refuse, to fight, to die with honor. But something inside him, deep, primal fear, took control. His body moved before his mind did. He stumbled back, then turned, running into the ruined streets. The man did not chase. He stood alone in the broken building, surrounded by silence and ash. His ritual was complete. His strength was alive. His enemies had fled. But he knew it was only the beginning. Far above, ships circled in the clouds. Thousands of soldiers waited. Armies ready to march. But now they would hear the truth. One alien would carry the message back. One survivor would spread the fear. The human sat back down at the broken table. He looked at the cold pan, at the ashes of his fire. Slowly, he smiled. It had only been breakfast. Later, in the alien warship above Earth, the squad leader recorded his report. His claws shook as he spoke. His voice cracked, heavy with fear. Do not engage them at dawn. Do not watch their rituals. Do not interrupt the humans when they eat. For when they finish, his voice faltered. When they finish, the war begins. The log ended. The screen went dark. And somewhere below, in the ruins of a dead city, a single human began to prepare again.